I'm reminded once again of how beautiful this city is. And the first time I realized that was my good friend Franco, who's very, very intense. We were at the Hyatt, the revolving restaurant at the top of the Hyatt at the end of Market Street. Franco pointed out to some cruise ships out in the bay and said, there are people out in those boats that are having the time of their life. And they're going to go back to their home communities and they're going to be talking about this experience for the rest of their life.
That's exactly right.
And I was like, oh my God, that is so true. In San Francisco, you could be walking down the street and passing people that are literally having the time of their lives, that they'll be talking about for the rest of their lives.
That's exactly right.
And that just made me realize that this city is a world-class city. People come from all over the world to experience this city.
I know what you're talking about, because when I was 13, I came here with my parents back in 1976. So I'm dating myself. But, and we actually lined up. Actually, the cable cars weren't operating there. They'd stopped them, and that made international news. Okay, so we knew the cable cars weren't working, but we still came to San Francisco. And we actually came 3 years in a row, 76, 77, and 78. And by 1978, they were working, and we actually lined up around Halverdide Plaza, for the turnaround, the Powell Street cable car turnaround. In those days, you could push it too, as a tourist. And I still have at home, from Chinatown, we bought a ceramic cable car that, as you twist it, it plays I Left My Heart in San Francisco. They sell these things, but now they're plastic or wood, and they're all made in China.
Yeah.
Right? But mine is from 30 plus years ago.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's on my shelf at home.
That's amazing. And it's so beautiful. I mean, there's the water on three sides, and you've got these great hills that give you these amazing vistas that are just incredible. You can see the East Bay from here. You can see downtown and all the different neighborhoods, the Fillmore, the Mission, Potrero Hill, South and Market, Nob Hill, Russian Hill, Castro. It's just amazing to me.
You used to live here?
I did. I lived here for, I guess, 6 or 7 years. And I left about 6 years ago. About every 7 years I get this insatiable, restless feeling. It's kind of the 7-year itch. And, I have to, for my own sanity, my own wellness, I sort of have to pick up and make a huge, dramatic, kind of traumatic move for me to sort of feel good. But now I'm coming into an interesting part of my life where at my age, I turned 50 in April, I feel like I'm really ready, finally, to start to settle down and I'm ready to move to a place where I can feel settled, that I can call it my home and relate to it as my home. I've always lived very lightly on the earth. When I was here in San Francisco, I wasn't really thinking of it as my home, that home place. Loved my time here in San Francisco, loved my time in Albuquerque, loved my time in Washington, D.C., Stowe, Vermont, Athens, Ohio, Montreal, all these different places. But now I'm getting ready to, in the spring, move back closer to my family. It feels important to me. And back to the Northeast, which is a little scary. The climate thing sort of scares me a little bit. It freaks me out. I haven't lived in a harsh winter for about 20 years now.
So you're living in Albuquerque now?
I live in Albuquerque, that's right.
Right.
So there's a lot of, it's really kind of a complex situation. It's very much the Wizard of Oz myth. I'm really feeling, I've always resonated with that monomyth of, the little girl who leaves her home and gathers experiences, makes new friends, and brings those things back to her home. And the whole gist of that incredible myth is there's no place like home. Don't get me started talking about public transportation because I love public transportation.
I do too.
I think, and if more places in this country had a public transportation system like what you have here in San Francisco, it would be so amazing. I mean, the F line. Oh my God, those cars are so fucking beautiful. And you know, it just, the whole city is just this amazing network of routes that can get you from point A to point B relatively effortlessly.
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, relatively. I mean, you can be from one end of town to the other in 25, 30 minutes, which I think is pretty amazing.
That's not bad. It's not bad, no. Although, and the trains do run, especially the metro, actually, they do run pretty quickly. And ever since they got computerized, they run really quickly. It's actually, despite the recent spate of accidents.
Oh God, there have been some accidents. A train accident?
Yes, including the F Market as well. Well, it was interesting because there was actually a serious accident right outside my front door. Two F Markets had collided. There was a SUV sandwiched in between the two of them.
Oh my.
So it had sandwiched, and it was right outside my front door. But I was actually editing footage at Access SF, but I had this camera on me. And as I was walking along, I noticed all the F Markets lined up on Market Street. So I took my camera out and started videoing it all, because it was interesting, right? And then they were now trying to do this turn off right in front of Safeways to try and turn away from it. And as one of them was turning, it pulled the live electric wire down, and the whole thing came down on a shower of sparks. And I got it on on video.
I'm very inspired to be here in San Francisco because there are so many amazing small business owners. You know, it sort of leaves to be seen whether they actually are successful or not. But the creativity you see in small businesses here in San Francisco is amazing. Like, for instance, that place down south of Market. A laundromat, a cafe, and a live music venue.
I think that was like the world's first.
How cool is that?
The brainwash, right?
Brainwash, exactly.
Yeah.
How cool is that? And then Wicked Grounds, it's a kink boutique and a cafe. Now, how cool is that? And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna put in my little plug here. There's a place on Fillmore. It's a little tiny store. It's called, I don't want to butcher the name, but it's a French name for cream. And what they do there.
Not crème.
It's not crème. No.
Okay.
The owner is working in cahoots with someone in the South Bay, I believe, who makes Greek-style yogurt.
Ooh.
And it's a yogurt shop.
And where is this?
It's on Fillmore.
Fillmore and what?
Fillmore and maybe Pine, maybe?
Okay,
maybe not quite
we need to research this.
It's spectacular.
Okay.
Because, and I was in there this morning and I'm thinking, oh my God, the timing on this it's a small business.
Yeah.
It's a woman's vision, right?
Yeah.
You know, she had this idea for this little unusual small business, made it happen, but the timing is so perfect because it's yogurt, right? It's organic. It's made with organic milk. And the flavor, it's sort of, you know, Greek-style yogurt is very creamy and very rich. And it's not really sweet. It sort of has this tangy, tart kind of sweet flavor. And then you can put toppings on it. And she also has frozen yogurt.
Well, nice.
I mean, frozen, organic, Greek-style yogurt. Now, how awesome is that? And then you're eating it, and it's like, it has this unusual sort of tangy flavor. You can put things on top of it. And it sort of satisfies that sweet tooth, but it's organic. It's, you know, dairy. There's, you know, relatively good for you, right? And the texture was it was like eating sashimi or sushi. It was like so creamy and lush, and it was amazing. And see, that's what I'm talking about, small businesses. I really hope this little shop meets with tremendous success.